Yes. We started? Oh, no, I'm nervous. I forgot my intro to my own podcast.
You're nervous?
I'm always nervous.
We haven't done anything yet.
What's my podcast? Just kidding.
Welcome to the
Hey.
community service with Craig Conant. I'm Zane Helberg, your host, with our guest, Craig Conant.
Yeah, we could probably leave all that in. It's kind of funny. Anyways, welcome to community service with Craig Conant. I got my man Zane Helberg right here. I love this dude. He's a big fart ass. And I got my buddy Chris Lundgren here. He doesn't have a mic, but you can say hello. Hello. That's all he gets. Stay over there, producer man. Hey, how are you, Zane?
Hey, buddy. How you doing? It's good to be here.
Yeah. Zane is a sober Sally like myself. And I call it the rehab racket. And it's not that at all. But I do many rehab shows with this fine fella. And we're of service. And we help these losers. I'm just kidding. I can't say that.
You can say that.
Well, yeah, we were there once too. No, we help these people at a bad time, and they're detoxing and whatnot. And want to plug your shit? Go for it. We'll get 7 listeners.
Plug in right at the top.
No, or
sure.
I just meant
Let's
maybe
plug
not
it.
your album, but
well, we know we can plug. Yeah, we can plug the Laugh to Live right at the top. Yeah, that's what we do. We do stand up in rehabs for losers who can't stop shooting heroin in their neck. But you know what they love? They love to hear jokes.
They do.
That's right.
I love those shows, by the way. Those are my people. I love a good junkie.
Yeah, those shows are either great and filled with people who are ready to listen to literally anything. You cannot offend these people, or they are the most sensitive, most difficult crowds.
Yes.
It's nothing in between. It's either one or the other.
Yeah, that is an odd dynamic there. It is literally, I could talk about getting my dick hole bored out by a dick doctor, and they are like, more!
Drill his dick.
Yeah, and or they're like, get out of here! It's unreal. It is absolutely what you just said. It is the best. It is like Def Comedy Jam. They are stomping the floor, fucking Arsenio Hall, woo, 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 woo. Or there is a lady passing out, drooling chocolate on her tummy because she's on methadone. And I'm about to address it, and I'm just like, maybe I'll just leave you alone on that one there.
Those are
you got
fun,
it rough.
When you're in a room with 4 people who are detoxing and on
those are not fun,
detox
sir.
pills, yeah, no, they're so fun. And then they're leaning over and they're drooling, and you're giving them both barrels, giving them the full act. And when a punchline makes them kind of shake a little bit and breathe it's like getting a big laugh out of them. You know their brain is registering something that they thought was funny, but their body can't react to it.
I feel like we're being too fucked up to these people.
Hell no.
Hell no. But at the same time, what we say and what we do are different because we are there for little to no money at all to be there for them. So just remember that. You junkies. No. But yeah. Did you ever notice that after I did that show for you where that lady was passed out drilling chocolate on her tummy, I never came back?
Yeah.
That was the last time.
Did I notice? No, I noticed that I'd ask you hey, you want to go to the hospital? You're like, no, I have another thing.
I have to stare at my wall for 4 hours. But I do all the ones on the road.
Yeah, come back, you pussy.
That one traumatized me. That lady was just fucking heaved over, drooling chocolate.
Dude, but there's something to be said. If you can stand up there. There's been nights when I stand up there, I do my full act, 45 minutes to 3 dudes that are literally drooling in their gowns and just giving it to them, just bombing for 45 minutes straight at them. And you watch them, their body shifts a little bit, and that's a laugh.
You know what? I get shows, so I that sounds so cocky.
Humble yourself, you little bitch.
I'm just saying, if I have no shows, I will be there in a heartbeat.
I know,
but
I know.
get shows, and like if I have stage time, I don't need that, and I don't want to put myself through that emotional roller coaster.
No, dude. As often as I can, I let someone else run that show. That will show that thing, that group,
that
whatever
detox
detox facility show
Hey, you
for
want to
another
perform
show.
to drooling vampires? Here you go.
Yeah, I skip it as often as I can, but that's like that place helped me develop. You know.
Yeah,
in a big way.
absolutely. No, I love these rehab shows because, I mean, remember that Huntington Beach run? We did 3 shows. We did, 55 minutes of stage time by 3 p.m.?
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Good grief.
That's a good one.
I got my fix for the fucking couple of days there. For those of you who don't know, stand-up comedians are microphone fiends, and we have to talk into a microphone.
Even if it's in someone's studio apartment in their living room
it's
at
true.
noon on a Wednesday.
Hey, this is a nice studio. I have wood furniture. No kitchen.
It is a nice studio.
It is. No, wait till you see the dishes in my bathtub. How you liking that coffee, Chris? You like the mug? I washed it. The same place I washed my asshole.
Oh, that's so funny. You wash
I
your
wish that was
dishes
a
where
joke.
you wash your asshole.
I know.
That's the truth.
That is the truth. It's not a joke nor a punchline, but I think it's all of it. It is a joke and a punchline and the truth. I wash my dishes where I wash my assholes. Oh, what?
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit, motherfuckers. Hey, that sounds like it could be a country song or just maybe a song.
I wash my dishes where I wash my food. Like
No.
that? Like Bon appetit.
That sounds more like just my comedy album title. I wash my dishes where I wash my assholes. Ha ha. Where are we going with this? This is off the rails.
Well, at this point in the podcast, maybe we should get on the rails.
I usually run out of steam about 12 minutes into my podcast. I'm good. What can I say? I wish the podcast could see awkward silences and stares. I get stuck on words sometimes. It happens in my act. And it's either funny or they go, oh, I think there's something wrong with him. And that's the latter's not so good. Mm-hmm.
I'm not awkward. You're awkward?
No,
This feels awkward to you?
not at all.
Does this feel awkward to you, Chris?
For 7 seconds, maybe. Just when I go in my head going, what do I talk about?
I don't think there's enough silence in podcasts. Sometimes there should be some downtime.
Ouch. No, it's radio. If there's silence, that doesn't make sense. Maybe a brief moment. Can I get a motherfucking moment of silence for this small chronic break? Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do. That's Snoop Dogg. And if you don't know that, do your fucking homework, you pussies. That's doggy style. That's quite possibly.
Oh, that could be a trope of your podcast. You just call the audience pussies all the time.
What's a trope?
Like something that occurs so often that people would say, like, when they think of your podcast, they would go, "Oh, the guy who calls us pussies all the time."
Yeah.
But when you think of a trope is something that happens so often that other podcasts would then do it. Like, a theme song. Having a theme song is a trope of a podcast. Like, podcasts always have theme songs.
When I was a kid, I used to win trophies. I bombed.
You bombed? You
Right
bombed
now,
that?
I just bombed. I thought I was going to get a laugh, and then you guys stared at me like I was an asshole. We're going to edit that part out, Chris. All right. So this is Zane, and he is sober 6 years, and he has many, many, many stories like me. Except his are kind of violent, and you start to hate him afterwards. I'm just kidding.
Mine are violent?
Nah.
What stories of mine are violent?
I just remember you told me, I was like, because we have a similar past of just being dumb and drugged out and making bad decisions, like many, many of us on this planet Earth. And I was like, tell me a story. Come on. And you told me one. I was like, oh, my God. Like, you scare me. I think he just beat up a guy or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I
do have stories of getting in a lot of violent fights.
What I want to hear.
But that's not fun.
That's not fun at all. No, thank you. See, all my story of violent fights is where I get knocked out, so it's kind of funny.
Oh, no, the last story I told you was a story of me getting the shit beat out of me.
But I want to hear about the skate park, you little crackhead.
You want to hear about the skate park?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was 19, me and my I moved out to California in 2003, and
Wait, let me set this up for you real quick. Zane used to be a real big cokehead. Big old booger sugar nose motherfucking cokehead.
I did everything though. I loved to crush things and snort them. So I would snort ecstasy. I would snort depression pills, Zoloft. I had the best trip on Zoloft. It was the best thing you could ever do. I crushed a Zoloft. I snorted half of it with a buddy of mine. I thought my face was going to be on fire. And 45 minutes later, I fucking skyrocketed into a field. These little French boys took me on a tour of France. 4 hours I was hallucinating. I was prancing through a field in Paris with some little French boys, and I mean I was a kid too, so that was it was not weird that I was prancing around the field with French boys, but I was blacked out in this trip, and I woke up and I sat in a hotel room until the morning time, and I felt like I was rocking back and forth like I was on a pirate ship.
Wow. I mean, I knew you could snort Ambien and Ritalin and Oxycontin. You can't snort Vicodin. It's a waste. It doesn't work. By the way, we're sober. Don't do drugs. I feel like we're educating people.
Well, do drugs if it's not going to ruin your life. The only reason I stopped doing drugs is because it ruined my life.
Yeah.
If you can
try something and then stop.
Snort Zoloft once.
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
Stick to the natural stuff. Have a nice psilocybin tea and hallucinate and see some bunnies in the sky. I used to see bunnies in the ceiling with my grandma, Kiki.
Bunnies in the ceiling?
Yeah, because she saw them first, but I was a good bad grandson, and I used to help take care of her, and it's in my act, but she used to have liquid morphine, Dilaudid, liquid Vicodin. She had all the liquid shit because she couldn't take pills. Oh, good grief.
I'll take it on the rocks, please.
Good, I did. I would put liquid morphine, liquid Vicodin with 7-Up and vodka and just...
Oh, boy. Ooh, baby.
Oh, yeah. That put a little...
You want to put a little stank in your tank? You drop some morphine in your vodka. Yeah, you want to get partying, bro? Let's put some morphine in our vodka and fight somebody. How about that, Chris? You give a shit? I'm getting amped up.
I used to get dope.
Standing.
You know what? Let's just fuck this podcast. Let's relapse, motherfuckers. Yeah.
You can't see me.
Dude,
I'm getting excited. I'm holding a pillow under my arm
like
a football.
We're standing up right now. Dude, I used to drink so much morphine. And I used to get dope sick. Oh, my God. It put a little blockage in your urethra, baby. That's what I'm talking about. No wonder my dick hole closed. Anyways, that's another story.
Okay. So
no, wait. I never got to the bunnies because you've heard it in my act. But I used to give my grandma liquid morphine and be like, 1 for you. Then when she wasn't looking, I'd go 2 for me. And then we would just trip, and I'd hold her hand, and she didn't speak English, and I don't speak much Spanish, so there's a language barrier. But I know one thing. We were both tripping balls and seeing stuff in the ceiling. And, yeah, drugs, man.
Cool.
Where were we going with this?
Did you want to hear the story of
yes.
of of me why I don't even know why I built a skate park in my apartment.
Because you're coked up. I already know that.
We were coked up.
I know.
Well, we came, like, what happened was I moved to California, and I had this idea that I was going to, my only job would be a drug dealer. I was sold weed through high school, and I was like, all right, that's pretty dope. And then I came to California, and I was a good weed guy. I delivered it. This was before there was actual weed delivery services. I delivered that shit right to your door. I rolled you a blunt. I was a very full service weed guy, and
You think you're the first one to do that,
I
bro?
gave you a fucking deal.
You think you were the first one to do that? 2 for $30 at your door.
2 for 30, dude. 2 for 30 at your door. 2 for 30. You want to know why? Because how about this? Two for 30. It sounds like a better deal for you, the customer, but in truth, it's by maybe 0.1 or 0.2 a better deal for the dealer.
Any more money amount is better for the dealer. We get that shit in bulk. We're fucking hustlers, baby.
You couldn't make enough money selling weed.
I used to get a pound of OG Kush for 3 G's. That shit was fire. Woo! I used to kill it, son.
When I moved to California, I didn't have any hookups, so I had to get an ounce for $310 from this guy named Freddie.
I would hook up my boys for $250 all day.
Yeah, I know you would.
$240.
You're from here.
Yeah.
I was
the Arizona pussy
coming
boy.
in. Yeah, I didn't know anyone. The guy was screwing me. I was like, dude, come on, $310. He's like, I don't know who you are. I was like, oh, god damn it.
God damn.
So a friend of a friend of a friend moved in with me. He was, what's the answer, Chris? Friends with the Mexican cartel. So when you're friends with the Mexican cartel, you stop selling weed and you move to cocaine. Right. Better deal. You get a little cocaine, you sell a little bit, you do a lot of it, you end up doing cocaine for, what's the answer, Chris? 2 months in a row. Around the clock for 2 months in a row, I did cocaine in the winter of 2003 and 2004. I'm not condoning this, but by the end of it, we had built a fully functional skate park in my 2-bedroom apartment. We stopped paying the rent, and we were living by candlelight, but we were dropping in to a half pipe in my kitchen. It felt like a good trade-off.
Are you sure that wasn't meth? That seems like a methy thing to do.
We were just nuts. I mean, it wasn't like a super polished half pipe, but what happened is that we would throw these parties in my apartment, and by parties we would just start doing cocaine, and then we'd invite people over, and
as all good parties start.
Our balcony looked into the alley, so me and the guys we were living with, we saw all this plywood, and being a kid who skateboarded, like, it's like you see plywood, you're like, let's build a ramp. Well, where are you going to build a ramp when you're doing a bunch of cocaine in your apartment? Well, you're going to build it in your apartment, obviously. So when you're building you start building a ramp, it's like, well, where are we going to lean this thing up against? Well, the kitchen fit. It fit there. The ramp fit in the kitchen. And so we just kept building, and the plywood kept showing up. I don't know who was doing construction in this alley, or even if they were whether they were getting rid of the wood or buying the wood and trying to build something, but we kept picking the wood up from the alley. And all of a sudden, 2 months later, we're getting evicted from our apartment, but we were doing some sick grabs, dude. We would drop in from the ledge in the kitchen and go up to the second part of the ramp, open the freezer, grab a burrito, drop back down, open up the burrito, throw it in the microwave, hit start, go back down, and you'd skate the ramp, and the goal would be to cook yourself dinner while skating at the same time.
I personally imagine you grabbing like a teacup or something. You're just like, dink.
Yeah. You drop in, grab a teacup, and like you're sipping tea while you're doing in the kitchen aerials. It was the worst. We were literally the worst skateboarders of all time.
This is why I love the theme of my podcast, because you, talking of these drugged out tales, you stir up memories that I forgot, that are buried or just drugged out, buried not on purpose. But is this thing working like a fucking corn on the cob? Is this correct? Okay. We got these corn on the cob microphones. Dude, okay, so as you know, I was a big druggie, and we used to get cracked out and whatnot. And me and my sisters rented, we paid the mortgage on my mother's house. And it was rent, like she moved out, and we took over the mortgage and we lived there, 3 bedrooms, 2 sisters and me. Everybody got a bedroom. We paid the mortgage. They kicked me out because I was the degenerate druggie and was fighting and fucking and all that shit all over that place. And they're like, get out. I lasted a year with them as an adult paying rent. And it wasn't because I didn't pay my rent. It was because I was a degenerate. Anyways, so they kicked me out. But I still had a key. And I was a party junkie kid. And they went out to Hermosa Beach. And I knew they'd be gone till 2, 3 in the morning partying. So me and my buddies went to their house in the garage because I still had my foosball table in their garage. And we just start getting coked up, taking rails, listening to Wu-Tang Enter the 36 Chambers, because that's what the fuck you do when you're coked up. And then we're playing foosball. And, you know, when you're coked up, drinking and drugging, and you're in the garage playing foosball, time flies like that. So 9 to 2, we were there a long fucking time, sweating, just playing foosball, you know? And then they come home, they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? We're like, oh, shit. Like, we were supposed to be out by that time. So instead of calling it quits, the night is over, it's 2 a.m., I had a pickup truck. We're cracked out. We put the foosball table in the back of my pickup truck, tie it down with straps and everything, drive to my buddy's house, Mike Becker's in Gardena. He lives with his girl and I think his girl's dad or his uncle or some shit. There's just an older dude there. And it's his place, though. It's like it's not the older dude's place. They're being kind and took him in. So, we then put the foosball table in Mike's living room at like 3 a.m., taking rails of coke, drinking, still continuing the foosball game. And then his girlfriend is like, you know, like, baby, can we not do this? And the dad or the uncle is like, yeah, just trying to sleep here. And like, it goes from like fun wildness to like, shut the fuck up, I'll do whatever I want, you know. And we're like, well, all right, we're just gonna. And then we just kept playing
oh my god,
foosball till the sun came
dad.
out. That poor everybody, my poor sisters. And then instead of being like, you know, like, maybe we should go, we're just cracked out. We're like, yeah, let's fuck them, let's play foosball. And we played foosball until literally we had blisters on our hands. That's what narcotics will do to you. So
blisters on your hands?
You play foosball for 6 hours, you're gonna get fucking blisters on your hands, bro. It's not a natural thing to do.
Till the sun comes up?
Yeah. And see that story, your skate park story and that foosball story sounds insane. But when you're on cocaine or any speed upper whatsoever, you're like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. That is a logical, rational thing to do. Oh, the party? No, it's not over. It's not over. Who says it's over? My fucking narcotics says put the foosball table in the back of a pickup, drive to Gardena at 2 a.m. while completely shit-faced intoxicated. You know what I mean? This is Friday night. If a cop sees that, oh, they're moving a foosball table Friday at 3 a.m., this is odd behavior, and they just fucking pull me over, and I'm just like, I'm just chewing on my own fucking teeth.
You ever get coked out and go surfing?
No.
We lived right next to the beach, so like there was very often that it would be like I don't know,
that seems
6
scary.
in the morning, and you're up, and you're like, oh, well, the sun's coming up. Let's go get in the water. Holy shit. You want to talk about a shock to the system, jumping in the Pacific Ocean when you're high on cocaine and you haven't slept in a day? Chris? We're shocking Chris over here. The producer, Chris, you know, he's
scandalized.
Scandalized. Is that a word? I don't know. This poor young man.
Picked up you from this distance?
Yeah, not that well, but
okay,
kind of good.
As long as they could hear you. Chris is my good buddy. I love him, and I've known him for, 8 years now? How long ago have you been at Trader Joe's?
Like 8, yeah.
Yeah, I've known this fuckface for 8 years. Oh, God. I'm just kidding. No, that wasn't, I was just a little bit. That was more me thinking about my time at Trader Joe's and how I'm free now. And I'm doing a podcast for $0, and so is he. Woo! We need to get some sponsors. Any CBD oil people that want to sponsor me, I'm all ears. Anything that doesn't get you high.
You think that CBD oil works?
Fuck yeah. I love it.
You do it?
I have had sample products, and I feel it helps with anxiety, and it does not get you high at all, and I like that because I don't want to get high anymore. I feel like all this podcast does is promote drug, but I want people to know I'm 5 years sober, Zane's 6 years sober, and get sober, motherfuckers.
Unless it's not ruining your life.
Stop telling them that. It's ruining your life.
No, you can't tell people to get sober because they're like, oh, fuck these guys. You can't tell someone who's actually an addict to get sober. You tell them, hey, keep going. Go out there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Go
on
partying.
another coke
If it's
binger.
working for you, go ahead.
Here's some plywood. Have at it, boy.
Yeah, yeah, man. If you're
Hey,
having
here,
fun,
take my old foosball table.
if you're not losing a job or cheating on your wife or getting in fights or robbing houses or building outdoor facilities inside, like, you're good. You're good.
If you're not whacking it in the bushes at Leisure Park.
Like, I was the type of guy, I'd go to Vegas for a weekend and I'd come home, I'd drink for like 3 days. I'd come home and be like, I'm not going to drink. I'm going to take a couple days off. 8 months later, I'd wake up and I hadn't stopped. That's someone who needs to quit drinking, is someone who goes home and says, hey, I'm gonna take a couple days off, and then wakes up out of a blackout 8 months later and goes, oh, maybe I have a problem. You know, that guy should stop drinking, maybe. Not the guy who's like doing coke once a
Okay,
year.
I agree with that. I mean, definitely no to narcotics, though. They're the devil.
Yeah, don't do heroin.
No,
That's
a good
bad.
one.
Don't do heroin. Don't do heroin or meth.
Oh man, why you gotta go after the best one?
Don't do heroin
Don't do
or
meth,
crack.
coke, crack.
Don't
you know?
smoke. Don't smoke crack unless it's being passed to you and you don't really know that it's crack.
What about black tar heroin? You know, if you just want to check out and be numb
Don't
to the
do
world,
black tar
No, I'm
heroin.
just kidding.
Do not
Don't
do
do
heroin.
drugs.
Don't do hard drugs.
Weed doesn't count, but also weed will make you lazy and just not pursue your dreams. So it can ruin your life in that sense.
But seriously, don't do heroin. Like, heroin's super bad for you. Cocaine is pretty bad for you.
We were
Crack's
going
pretty
somewhere.
bad
Where
for you.
we got off the rails. What were we talking about?
What were we talking about?
We were going somewhere, and then we got on this tangent, this bullshit tangent.
Well, we were talking about my story, then your story.
Producer, that's your job. Keep me on track, you fucking degenerate.
You know, you told your foosball. No, well, you buttoned the whole segment by going, and that's what narcotics will do to you.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. Yep, that's it. Podcast's over. I'm just kidding.
I gotta pee. Can we take a break?
Yeah, pause it.
All right.
Don't remember where we left off. But let's give a brief bio of I think that's what we were doing. I never got to finishing Chris. He's my good buddy. I worked with at Trader Joe's 8 years. I quit and resigned with grace, and he's dying slow. Still working there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Tell us about.
Well, it's a wonderful place to work. They're pretty forgiving. You can do almost anything and get away with it.
Bullshit.
How long you been working at Trader Joe's?
9 years total.
9 years total?
Yeah. So 1 year in Minnesota and then 8 years here at the store with Craig.
I did 10.75, motherfuckers.
I got time. I can still get out.
Yeah, but Chris witnessed many of my shenanigan and antics at Trader Joe's, and I don't remember a lot of them, but I filmed a lot of them too, but it was just quite a shit show. I was finally fired and set free, and it was truly the best thing that ever happened to me, and I have no bad blood towards them. And, you know, if you want to fart on your boss, let it rip. Yeah, that's it. That's Chris's introductory.
Solid Trader Joe's plug.
They got good fucking snacks, man.
Dude, I was in there last
shop
night.
there to the day I die.
That place is weird, though. Like,
No, it's not. Take it back.
But their selection of items is quite peculiar.
Yeah, they're a specialty store. They're not a traditional grocery store. Know where you're going. It's not Ralph's.
It's so funny that, like, you start talking about Trader Joe's and Craig gets so defensive, like he is Joe or some bullshit.
That's right. Because people don't get Joe.
You don't need. Why does the store need to have 6 different types of dried cherries?
Because there's Bing, there's Montgomery, there's come on.
I know there's dark and
Rainier,
sweetened, unsweetened, but why do you need to
there's
package them?
sulfite,
Like,
there's non-sorbate.
I know that there's different types.
$2.99,
I know.
$5.99,
I listen. I ate an entire bag
$6.99.
of chili mango last night. I get it, but there isn't 6 types of chili on the chili mango. There's one chili mango. There should be one dried cherry, and that would leave,
You know what?
That would make room for dried
I'm
apricot
done with
or
you.
dried pineapple. No, that they're in the cherry game. You got dried pineapples? Yeah. I couldn't find them.
Have you had the Montgomery cherries? Whole nother level.
I had so many different fucking dried cherries this
Much
weekend.
better than the dried Bing cherries.
Been trying all the dried cherries.
Remember those dried strawberries we had for a brief moment? Good grief, they were good. They were expensive. They're like $6.99, and they got discontinued. But I enjoyed them while it lasted.
Look, I'm a recent Trader Joe's convert. Like I would go to Whole Foods because it was the grocery store on the corner. I'm a shopper of convenience. But I've been hanging out with my girl up in San Francisco, and she's a big Trader Joe's advocate. She'd love you. You'd love her. She likes plants. By the way, this guy, I don't know if you guys can't see this. You can only hear about this, but Craig has an amazing aloe. It's flourishing out in his garden right now.
I take care of my garden.
It's huge.
I take care of my garden. I take shit.
So I've been going to Trader Joe's, where I shopped at Trader Joe's for groceries last night. It was fantastic.
Trader Joe's has the best products for the best price, hands down. I'm having real difficulty talking here. God damn it. 5 years sober. It doesn't go away, everybody. It's in my act. It's on my T-shirt. I did too much, man. God damn it. But if you don't know about Trader Joe's, even though they fired me, go shop there. Delicious treats at a reasonable price. No hormones, antibiotics, no chemical warfare. Yeah, there's a lot of sodium in the frozen products, but that's because there's no fucking hydroquinone or whatever the fuck. You know, they put natural preservatives as opposed to chemical warfare preservatives. Now, is it a health food store? No.
But Trader Joe's is the Scientology of grocery stores.
No,
like,
it's not.
Oh, look at you. Look at
it's not.
Look how
Take it back.
defensive you get
Shut up,
over
Zane.
Trader Joe's. You love it so much. Trader Joe's could murder your family, and
No,
you
they
would still
couldn't.
talk nice about
No,
them.
I
They
love
fired
my family.
you.
So what? I had it coming.
Look at them.
I had it coming.
You're like a battered wife over here. They love me. I was the one that was wrong. They beat me because I deserved it.
I had it coming.
You did not have it coming. You were such a great promotional tool for them, and you still are. You're talking about Trader Joe's, and you were fired a month ago.
I miss them.
You gave your life to them, and they threw you out in the streets like you were a piece of garbage.
What if I just
Like
broke
you-
down and started crying? You're
like
right,
you were
Zane.
a used jazz apple. £2, $2.99. That's what they said. That's what you're
I'm
worth to them.
150 pounds.
$2.99. That's what you're
worth
worth
a lot
to
more
them.
than $2.99.
I know that. Chris knows that, but does Trader Joe's know that? No, they don't. They don't. But and here's the thing, you're so loyal to them.
I'm a loyal guy.
I know.
I have a lot of bad friends I'm still friends
You're a
with.
loyal
I
friend.
hate them.
You're a loyal guy. You're such an amazing human being, and they threw you out like the yesterday's trash.
That's fine. I love the dumpster.
But it is a good
digging
grocery
through
store.
dumpster since I was a niño. I found some titty pics in a dumpster when I was 9 years old with Jose Abrego. And every dumpster I've ever walked by, I've always wondered what's in it. And sometimes I go dumpster diving, and you find eyeglasses and food and whatnot. Well, this is getting weird.
You went dumpster diving when you were 9 and you found porn?
I found,
What were you doing in the dumpster in the first place?
I'm a curious kid. I didn't have a cell phone back then. I was a man.
No one had a cell phone back then.
I don't know.
It was 1993.
I know. I just had to, I just got into mischief, and I just saw a dumpster, and I saw stuff in there, and I wanted to see what it was about. So I went in, and I found a tit pic, not like porn, just like a boyfriend like took photos of his girlfriend, I guess that's porn, but just choo-chees. And then me and my buddy were like, whoa, this is a jackpot. You know, you're 9 years old. And
So funny that somebody had to develop those photos at some point.
yeah.
Some boyfriend brought a camera in
Yeah, Kodak was
and
big
then
back
had to
then.
make eye contact with the guy who was developing the photos. Like, yeah, you saw pictures of my girlfriend's titties. You're handing them back to me. That's what we're trading off right now.
And I dumpsters make me curious.
Could you
What's in there?
imagine the what went on in that guy's life that he was looking at those pictures of his girlfriend's titties and was like, "Fuck this," and threw them in the dumpster? Like,
They
what kind of
probably broke
fight-
up.
Yeah,
They
what
broke
kind of?
up.
I know they broke up. It's funny to think about.
Yeah.
Or you could just derail the bit, but whatever. It's all good. It's your podcast.
I'm sorry.
Community service, derailing bits with Craig Conant.
Hey, start a bit again. Come on.
No, I'm doing it.
Start a bit again.
I'm doing it. I was doing the.
I guess
the
I
bit.
was halting it on accident right there. Need a wrench in your spokes? Call Craig Conant. He's autistic. He can't talk so good and doesn't know when a bit's going on. And
Do you
we'll
remember
stop
when
it.
you found your neighbor's porn for the first time? Did you ever do that?
Neighbors porn?
I was watching my neighbor's house. I was watching. They had farm animals. They had chickens and pigs. I rode their pig when they were away. I was supposed to be watching it. Their 4-H pig, and I rode their pig, and I curved its back, and they got really upset. But the perk, they paid me like $20 to watch their animals for the weekend. And the perk was that I got to rifle through their entire home, feverishly looking for the dad's porn. And you know what? I found it. VHSs, 50 of them. Under
Why
his
didn't you
bed.
find your dad's porn?
My dad didn't have porn.
What is he, a fucking asshole? I found
My dad didn't have porn. Isn't that weird?
that's really weird.
Your dad didn't have porn?
Not that I ever found. My neighbor had a lot of porn, but my dad didn't.
Right. Why was it always the neighbor who had the porn? It was never like, I mean, of course, if you're the neighbor though, you definitely have neighbor vibes. Like you're like, you definitely have a family that's like they're partying. There's like, you look over the ledge and there's like a barbecue going on. It's like, why are there so many people living in one space together? That's very neighbor vibes. So like people would go to your house and dig through your dad's shit and be like, holy shit, can you believe Craig's dad has the porn? Can you believe Craig's dad has the weed? Like,
You're making me remember a story I don't want to remember. I found my dad's porn at a very young age. I don't know. I must have been 8 or 9. And it was called Fantasy Cruise. And then I was with my cousin, and she was a year younger than me. And you poor soul, Lisa. I'm sorry I did this to you. Anyways, I VHS under the bed. That's taboo. You're not supposed to find this. Let's find out what's on it. Put it in. Hit play. Fucking Fantasy Cruise, porno. And I'll never forget this. As a kid, we used to just eat uncooked hot dogs, just weenies. And
yeah.
we were eating uncooked hot dogs, watching a porno as this fucking big black dick just gets sucked by this white woman. I'll never forget this because it was Fantasy Cruise. And it was a husband and a wife in theory in the porno. And then the husband is telling his wife to suck this guy's dick. And I was like, this is weird. And then she starts sucking this fucking big old monster dick. And
How old were you?
I was like 8 or 9, dude.
Dude,
10
that's just
max.
traumatizing.
I loved it. My cousin was like crying and she wanted to leave. I was like, just watch it. This is awesome. I was getting all excited and breathing heavy. And she's like, I don't like this. I was like, I didn't know. I was a kid, man. I just remember even as a kid, like thinking, I guess I just had a comedic brain my whole life, but this dude's getting his dick sucked by this guy's wife. And I'm eating a hot dog. And I was like, this is a poor choice of snack at this moment in time. You know, I genuinely thought that. And then so that was a black dude, big black dick. And also in all porn is big dicks. And I had access to some porn VHS through stealing my dad's shit. And this is another story, but this is when, so every in porn, big dicks, big dicks, and I thought that I had a small dick. I do not have a small dick. I have a healthy. I have a good one, not a massive.
How long is it?
It's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been told it's
Thick?
It's thick.
Girthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris likes that.
Yeah.
Chris likes a girthy cock.
I've been told I have.
That's the first thing he said to me. He's like, "Hi, I'm Chris. I like a girthy cock." I was like, "That's an interesting opener, Chris. Nice to meet you."
Yeah. And then, so this is later. This is after watching porn in my, in my youth and adolescence. And I'm like 15, and I have a girl I'm dating, and I'm about to lose my virginity. But all I've ever seen is monster horse cocks and porno. So I think that I have a tiny dick, and I'm like, oh no, I need to fix this. And I used to subscribe to Adam and Eve, like you mail in porno. They just say, check if you're 18. Check. It's so dumb. They mail me porn at fucking 15. Anyways, in that catalog, they have penis pumps and whatnot. But I didn't want to mail away for a penis pump. I needed it now. I'm about to get laid and lose my virginity. I think I have a small dick. And because of horse cock porno and their foot-long cocks. Because a 6-inch dick is a healthy, nice, decent dick by any normal female standards. But
there's some women have bigger vaginas. Some women have smaller vaginas.
Yeah.
To each their own. That's
to
why
each their own.
The Lord maketh and the Lord taketh away, as they say.
But a 6-inch cock compared to a foot-long porn cock, you're like, I'm only half of that. You think,
that's like Shaq versus Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, you're like, this isn't. Anyways, I got this old buddy, Nick, and we used to call him Debo because he used to knock motherfuckers out, and he might be in prison right now. But anyways, he knocked this kid Kurt out, and Kurt was an older kid, and we were degenerates, and Nick took his wallet and his money. And his ID was 18, so I took his ID. And now I have this kid's ID, and I go to the porn store, Pleasure Island on Hawthorne Boulevard in Torrance. And I'm shopping for a penis pump because I think my dick is small. And I purchased a penis pump, and they have it's expensive. I think the cheapest one was $30 or $40 in high school. It's so much money. And the most expensive one was like $180, electronic penis pump. And then I did not get the expensive one. I got the cheapest one, and I do it, and it's a handheld pump, and it has this plastic tube with these rubber latex pussy lips that suction your dick to kind of make it erotic, and it inflates your dick like a balloon, and it just hurts. It basically just sucks all the oxygen out of the tube, and it's just like a big suction cup for your dick, and it inflates it, and it feels like it's going to explode, and it's throbbing, and it hurts so bad. So I did this a couple times, and it feels like it works, but it doesn't. It just kind of stretches your dick out that you could do naturally just by yanking on it too hard, and then it hurts so bad, and then I finally have sex, and I don't have a small dick. The girl, like, it hurt her, and I was like, oh, she was a virgin, I was a virgin, and there was blood, and the cherry popped, and I was like, oh, I'm a man, I don't have a baby dick, I could do this, and then, so the penis pump was then obsolete, but it had those pussy lips on it, so I just fucked it a few times and threw it in the trash and was done with it.
Parents should be more vocal with their sons about how it is impossible to make your dick bigger. Because I think every young boy goes through this phase where they're yanking it and pumping it and smacking it and like measuring it and doing all these things to make their dick bigger. And I'm just wondering, if of all the men in the world, there has to be some small percentage, which is actually a large number of guys, that have fucked their dicks up permanently from all of this,
absolutely,
this dick torture that we put ourselves through.
I guarantee there's some dick yankers that fuck their shit up.
Dude, the dick yanking, I mean, literally everyone in the world who's a man has looked at their dick and been like, I wish it was a little bigger. And at like 12 years old, yanked on it a little too hard and hurt themselves.
And also, they need to explain what was... Like I said before, I do not have a small dick, but when you look at horse cocks on the internet or porn, you're like, Yeah, of course it looks small to that.
Dads need to look at their sons and go, listen, son, for the rest of your life, you are going to feel like your dick is too small, but it's just not true. It's
Unless
just not
it is,
true.
and then tough break, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is about horse cocks too is 9 out of 10 women don't even like horse cocks.
I would say
8 out of 10.
maybe like 5 out of 10. But dude, some girls like it.
I would not say 5 out of 10. I'd say 7 to 8 horse cocks, bro. That means like that's
Yeah, but no one's that. But I mean, anything bigger than 6 is big. You know, like
yeah.
that's what they want it to be pretty big. That's okay.
Yeah,
That
no,
it's not.
I'm not saying that.
It's
I'm
not
saying
that- it's
nobody
not the
likes a
worst.
small dick. Everybody knows that. But I'm just saying, I would say I'm not a woman, nor have I taken a poll. But in general, most normal women don't like giant fucking horse cocks.
I
That's
can't
a
speak
safe
to that.
general statement.
I
Well,
have
that's
no
because you're
idea.
fucking used to coked up skate park women, motherfucker.
No, that's
yeah,
not
of
true.
course, those are the ones that want the horse cack.
That's not true.
Why do I keep saying cack?
I just don't know. But it's just like anything else. You know, women would prefer a certain type of man the same way we would prefer certain types of women. But everyone makes concessions because we're not all super rich celebrities who get to just pick and choose whoever, whenever, wherever, and whatever. You know, it's like everyone is a whole person, and you know, you can look at yourself and be like, I wish I could change these things about my body, and you could look at someone else and go, I wish I could change these things about that person's body. But at the end of the day, you guys laugh a little bit and you both like pastrami sandwiches. So you know what, if her pussy's a little too big and your dick's a little too small, you guys are like, that's fine, we'll work with it. You know, it's all about the outer rubbing anyway. No one's really coming from the insertion, you know, so it's like, that's what it's just. It's all about the motion in the ocean, as they say.
Sounds like you got a small dick. We got Baby Dick Zane over here, and yep, that's it. Baby Dick Zane. That's his plug. Bye-bye. I'm just kidding. We're still here. How was that sip of coffee, asshole?
I didn't sip any of it. You know, I saw what you did. You took the can out of the room, so I didn't put my lips on it. And you poured some coffee into a cup, and now you're blocking it with your body. As if to say, there's no fucking way you're going to get a
It's
sip
gone.
of my coffee.
That cup's empty. I was supposed to give Zane a sip of my coffee, and I left the room, poured it in a cup, and been hiding it from him ever since. Bring your own coffee. This is my podcast. You think you know. What time are we at? How much?
50 minutes.
5-0? All right. We're getting there. So, you know, I am half Mexican, although that has nothing to do with it. But I just feel like Mexicans have a lot of poopy in the pants story because of too much beans and cheese. And, you know, I don't know if my fans like this, but it's what I like. My mom shits her pants. My sisters have shit their pants. I've shit my pants just a couple of weeks ago at my uncle's funeral. Anyways.
You shit your pants 2 weeks ago at your uncle's funeral?
On the way, I already told it on the first podcast, though, but I squirted my pants driving to my mom's house to then carpool to my uncle's funeral, and I had a shower at my mom's house. But that's neither here nor there. We're here about you, sir. And do you have any funny little squirts in the tootie patootie area over there on a date? You know, you're embarrassed. You smell like rancid dog shit. Anything to that nature?
On a date smelling like rancid dog shit. Anything
I'm the only
of
one?
That nature.
What? What's
you
the
ever
deal?
been on a date smelling of rancid dog shit? You know, anything of that nature? What kind of fucking question is that?
Just give me a poop story.
I have pooped in my pants one time, really, like, as crazy as you can possibly do it. I was a sophomore in high school. I was hungover, and between second and third period, I was like, I really got to go. so I started walking. This is the first time ever that I've really thought to take a shit in school. So I hadn't really been paying attention to the bathrooms. But I go around walking through the halls. None of the stalls in any of the bathrooms had doors.
Yeah, men are animals in high school.
They're
and we
ripping the doors.
destroy our own bathroom.
What kind of animal rips the door off the stall in the bathroom? That doesn't make any sense. Literally every stall in every hallway, I'm walking around, and at this point, like, it's taking 5 minutes. I'm late to my third period class. I'm like, I gotta take a shit. This is bad, but there's no doors. I'm like, I'm not gonna just take an open shit in high school.
I don't want to.
Then all of a sudden, I'm the open shit kid in high school. I can't do that. So I go to I'm like, okay, the library. The library's got to have a door to their bathroom. They do. Someone's in there taking a shit already.
Because it's the only one available.
So what's my only move? My only move in my head is to get in the car and drive home. My home is 2.5 miles away. And I was making a break for it. I'm complete butt clenching shit needs to be taken, hungover shit. And so I make a break for my car. And I get in the car, and the hall monitors are like, "Get back here, you're ditching." And I'm like, "Fuck you." And I peel out of the parking lot, and I'm racing home. And I'm looking to the side, left and to the right, like maybe I just take a shit on the side of the road. And then I'm thinking someone's going to drive by and see me. And as I'm having all these thoughts, I'm going like 100 miles an hour down a 1-lane road in Tucson, Arizona. I just start shitting my pants. And I'm driving my dad's Ford Ranger, and I'm just like, and it's got fabric seats, and it is just everywhere. All of my pants and just all over the car. And I'm 100 miles an hour all the way home, and I make it home, shit everywhere. I peel into the driveway, and my housekeeper's there, and she doesn't speak a lick of English. And she comes outside, and she's like, Zane, no está en la escuela. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no está en la escuela? And I'm trying to communicate to her, but I don't know how to say.
Lady,
I don't know how to say I pooped in my pants. So I'm like, el pupo en mis pantalones.
Mierda en mis pantalones, puta. That means I shit my pants, bitch.
So I end up. I'm standing in my driveway. This poor lady is looking at me like I'm insane. There's shit everywhere, and God bless this woman. She helps me get undressed, and she washes my shit pants.
Oh man,
she washes my shit pants for me.
You take care of that alone, like a man. What are you doing, putting this poor woman through that? You fucking jerk.
I didn't mean to. I was 16. She helped me out.
I'm just kidding. That was so sweet of her.
I loved her.
Well,
but then my dad, I didn't tell my parents, it was a secret. She helped me keep it a secret. But my dad would get into his truck for like the next 2 weeks. My dad would get in his truck and be hunting for the smell. There was like a little bit of a shit stain on his driver's seat, but I didn't have the heart to tell him. So he's just getting in, just sniffing around.
What the hell is that? Checking his feet every time?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's so funny. The old phantom pooper over here, huh?
I used to steal my dad's truck a lot.
The ghost turd.
And I used to fuck with him with his all the time. But I used to steal my dad's truck, and I used to go race it around at night and like rally racing in the dirt. And one time I jumped my dad's truck with a bunch of my friends inside of it, and it bottomed out, and it totally fucked up the alignment. So he gets in his car the next day, and the alignment is yanking to the left hard as fuck. And he's just like, "What happened to my truck? This doesn't make any sense." And he's like calling the dealer and getting it taken in, and like they can't figure it out. They can't fix it. And it's causing him a ton of fucking problems. And then like 2 weeks later, I stole the truck again, and I jumped it again and bottomed it out again, and it fixed the alignment. The next day he got in his truck like, "What is happening?" He's like, "This doesn't make any sense." I finally told him. I think 10 years later. I think at some point, he was just like telling the story to his friends. Like he's like, "Oh, you want to hear a ghost story? I got a ghost story for you." It's like this story he's been telling his friends. Like, I don't know how the fuck this happened for like a decade. I'm like, "Oh yeah, Dad, that was me.
That was me." So moral of the story is keep stealing your dad's car.
Yeah, he had a haunted Ford Ranger for like my entire life. Smelling like shit, driving weird. Yeah, that poor guy.
Good poop story. The kicker at the end is your poor dad just sniffing shit that wasn't there, and he's like, oh, Jesus, I am getting old. Am I farting? I don't even know it. What's going on over here? Maybe it was the coffee that I didn't share with Zane. Sorry, Zane.
The silences, I don't understand why you go silent. That's the part that I love about the silences in this podcast is that like we'll be talking and then all of a sudden it'll be like snap.
Literally,
Just
my
he'll
brain
just go
freezes.
silent.
I stare at the wall and I go, I don't know where to go now. And then I just get quiet and then I get nervous and then I giggle and that's what happened every single time.
I think you should leave those in. I think you should leave those in and not only what was the first trope? What was the first trope that we talked about? The silence can be another trope of your podcast. Oh yeah, calling everyone a pussy.
Well, thanks for listening, you pussies. And yeah, I think we're about done here. About an hour. We'll edit some names out. Maybe leave the long, awkward silences in because that's kind of who I am.
Download my album.
Oh yeah, we got to plug Zane.
Let me plug my album.
This is truly one of my best friends. I love Zane Helberg, and he is a good dude. He's a sweetheart. He's sober, and honestly, some of my favorite people on this planet are the people who've did it, and gone through it, and built skate parks, and knocked out, and all that shit. But then come out the other end a better person because they go, "Oh yeah, I was a degenerate asshole. It is my fault. I did those things." I'm kind of like that. Zane is definitely like that. Like you just kind of man up and take responsibility for your fuck ups, and then try to get better as a human being and evolve and whatnot. Anyways, Zane is a good dude, loyal dude, stand up, funny motherfucker, and he has an album out right now called
Zane Helberg live from rehab.
And it is recorded live at a rehab center, and that is fucking dope, you know?
Yeah, and it's gnarly and it's dark, and there's a lot of riffs, and there's a lot of shit that I won't let my mom listen to because it's super sad but funny and gnarly, and there's a bunch of crazy people yelling and screaming in it, and it's a rowdy album, and it helps a lot of people, or the sets did, and it's not for everyone, but it's for anyone out there who's a degenerate and wants to listen to some stupid shit.
So if you're into drugs, listen to it. If you're trying to get sober, listen to it. If you're not into drugs, listen to it.
If you're somebody's mom, don't listen to it.
If you're somebody's mom, show it to them so they know what their children are actually going through. You're
Find
bad
it everywhere,
mothers.
wherever you download music.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, download it wherever. To all the moms out there dealing with degenerate, crazy kids like us, God bless your soul and good luck. That's all I have to say. It's definitely not you, mamas. It's we're just crazy. It's nothing. Yeah, I don't know how I got on the mom rant, but we're saying
moms don't listen to the album.
Yeah, and if you got kids like us, it ain't you, mom. It ain't you, lady. There's nothing you can do. We're just fucking nuts, and we like to do bad things. And good luck, maybe. Good luck raising kids like us, and maybe reduce the sugar in the house. And absolutely no moms are going to listen to my podcast anyways. But if you do, know that
teen moms might.
Yeah.
Big teen mom following on the Craig Conant podcast.
And, we're all going to die. None of it matters. Just keep your head up and stay positive.
That's how you end. We're all going to die.
Go buy a plant and stare at it and smell the flowers. It's fucking makes me happy. Stay away from money trees. They're real finicky plants, though. I can't get it healthy. God damn it. Terracotta pot, $2.99. Anyways, this is Craig Conant. You've been listening to my podcast, Community Service. That's my buddy Zane Helberg, my buddy, Trader Joe's coworker, producer Chris Lundgren. I love you all. Have a good evening.